The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Tuesday, the 12th day of April, 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications, People's Pharmacy, and Lindo's. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sherry Vanderpool, and he's Larry Marshall Jr. And guess what that means? There's no Leanna today, so you've got to put up with me for the news break, folks.
Oh, okay.
Let's not make it cringe-worthy, okay?
What's wrong with you two? I mean, like, I'm not feeling the love this morning.
I'm gonna be like, Mr. Photogenic and say, looking good. I'm just gonna say,
but I'm not coming in, huh?
That was a good one.
I see what we're doing today. Well, I just have to rub this in. Hey, Bert, did you get to see the replay of the USA TF on TV yet?
Yes, I saw it before you saw it.
Oh, okay. So basically, you and I and Sherry saw it on TV, but only two of us went to see it live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it was making to see that.
Oh my God! And Larry, you just
Everybody's laughing with me. Look at that.
Oh, whatever, you two. And they don't want to send me videos.
Yeah,
I didn't send videos.
No.
But you was part of the video, acting all like you lot were dancing and everything. You not weren't doing nothing, sitting over in the cut. Well, I'm sorry, except for Mr. The Daily Hour making his rounds and saying hello to people.
What are you talking? That was at the after party where the athletes were, and we were just shaking hands and kissing babies and all that stuff. Just trying to be like the politicians. That's all that was. That's all that was.
You heard how he said we, Larry? But okay.
Yeah, I would say we. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Sharon, hopefully next time you could be there. But anyway, let's move on. Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. Another good one today as we welcome Alicia Williams of So Cute on for a conversation. I just love the name, So Cute.
Yes.
There's power in Brandon, right? The Daily Players will remember when, so it's history today. I think Larry should actually stick around for this one.
And I think so too.
It's definitely one. Yeah, I think he should. Yeah, he should stay backstage for this one. But before we get to our guests, before we trick them up with the Daily Play, we have a very, and I mean a very important discussion this morning. All jokes aside, this is something that I think my phone was blowing up yesterday. Many Bermudians, both locally and overseas. And the concern was that Bermuda just hosted one of the biggest international events there's been. Now, let me be clear about this here. This is not politics. This is me as a Bermudian speaking. This is me. I could be wrong, and I'm happy for anyone to correct me. But I'm pretty sure that when there's a big golf event taking place, and we love golf. This is not to criticize golf or any other sport, but we know when there's a big golf event taking place, there's front page coverage and someone holding a trophy. The same with the big sailboat race, as some people call it, the America's Cup. Plus, I'm sure there may have been a special edition. Rugby has gotten that.
Rugby.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Triathlon has gotten that.
Triathlon has gotten that love. So
the cycling Grand Prix has gotten that love.
We can go on and on and on. But I understand the concerns that I received from many people yesterday when they stated This is the first edition of the Royal Gazette, Bermuda's only daily paper since Bermuda held a world-class event that likely didn't cost anywhere near those events, likely didn't, got just about as much coverage as those events on NBC, not NBC Sports, which is non-existent as of December 31st, 2021. NBC, one of the major networks in the United States. And the Royal Gazette, Bermuda's daily paper, did not have not one story, not even in the must-reads. My friends, the question of the morning is, what can we learn from the Royal Gazette's non-existent coverage of the USATF Bermuda Games on its front page yesterday? Where's the lessons? What can we learn? And I know Larry probably jumped at the bit because obviously you've been on the sports scene since a child. You and your brother and your family, you've probably dealt with it. But I mean, both of you, what you got for us?
Go ahead, Larry. Just go. Like, I'm not even fighting you on this.
So yesterday, you can imagine the excitement. Bermuda just held this historical event, and I went on my regular sites, letsrun.com, track and field news, the Facebook track and field groups that I'm in, and they're all talking about the Bermuda Games. I was chiming in, talking about how they win, and other people were saying different things, and I got a couple of messages that said, "Have you seen the Gazette's coverage?" And at this point, I don't even think to even look at the Royal Gazette Sports because I've just been so tuned out with the coverage for years. And the more people kind of hit me up and whatnot, and then I said, well, let me go have a look. And not only did they not have a feature on the front page, we didn't have not one picture of an international athlete in the physical print paper. And when you think that the reigning Olympic champion Jasmine Camacho Quinn set a world-leading time for 2022 on our shores on Saturday afternoon, you can't help but think, like, how does she not make the print? And it just seems like it was covered as a dual high school meet or something. And I just don't understand it.
Yeah, well, interestingly, and I want to say this, that the Royal Gazette, to their credit, they did join the event. They had live video, and they did cover it live, right, on the internet. But again, all of that's great. And let's be clear, I am very cautious not to criticize, critique, whatever, other media in this space. But this is not about other media at this point. We're speaking as Bermudians today.
Yeah.
There are young children that participated, fastest kid on the rock, that you could have put a picture of them out there, or just
nothing.
That the fact that there was no coverage on the front page at all.
Yeah.
And again, we know Bermuda is a racially sensitive country. That's what I'm going to say.
Agreed.
Right? We know that the majority of the athletes that participated were of one particular group. We know that the people in the stands, the crowd, the majority seem to be of one particular group. That differs when it comes to sailing. That differs somewhat when it comes to golf and maybe triathlons. But if there's one thing Black Bermudians are going to do is support a major event just because. Right. And I feel like it's been a letdown. And this is an opportunity for the local media to help Bermuda on a major stage get a big event like this back.
Yeah. And it
leaves more questions, though. Hold on, let me just
yes.
It leaves more questions than answers. Is it because this doesn't appeal to the traditional person that Bermuda's tried to target and get to Bermuda? Is it because I'm going here, there are people who look a certain way or are part of a certain group are leading these efforts? Dr. Freddie Evans looked like me. Mia Bean looked like me. Charles H. Jefferson II looked like me. Hazel Clark looks like me. That's just four.
Was it because there was no politicians? I don't know.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sherry.
Well,
I want
but
you to
no,
touch on it.
no, and I was going to say I felt like we got more coverage on WhatsApp statuses than you did the Royal Gazette, and for me that's a problem. In addition to, it was on a world stage, and it was beautiful to watch. I'm here in Atlanta, and it was beautiful to watch on TV. It was beautiful to see Bermuda represented well across the country. Why can't that representation be in our local news? You're absolutely right, Jamal and Larry. Like, we had kids that ran that race. I had a cousin, Jasmine Rabine Reed, who is number 9, 9-year-old fastest on the rock. Why didn't I see her on that in the paper? In addition, it goes back to what you said about your niece, Jamal, representation. She was able to see the governor and be able to relate to her. What happens when we have other kids out here who want to do the same thing, and there is nothing that I can present to them that they can relate to? That's a problem.
Mm,
And when you are the only daily, you represent the people. And trust and believe, folks, there were some people that were in Bermuda that are not from our shores that picked up that paper and noticed that there was no representation on Monday's print edition of the
Mm,
Royal Gazette. And that's unfortunate when we have some of the people that helped put on the event have to now defend a reason as to why this possibly doesn't happen. And we just have to do better. And I said yesterday, Bermuda got it right. And it's unfortunate 24 hours later, we're back talking about how something shouldn't have happened. It's just very unfortunate.
yeah, I agree. And again, I'm not one who jumps on bandwagons and criticizes the Gazette. I understand the tough job that they have as the only daily. I understand the tough job that the media has, period, in the times we're living in. Um, and I appreciate, for the most part, their existence. My challenge is when things like this happen. Let's not
yeah.
forget, I mentioned not too long ago that, there was a murder in Bermuda, and plastered on the front page was the Bermuda Regiment arrested me on my job. Like that to me is where my disdain for media came from, and it challenged me to want to be a part of the solutions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, fast forward to this, as Larry just mentioned, the biggest concern that Bermudians should have is, hold on, the people who helped bring this event to Bermuda, not the people in Bermuda, but the people who came, the execs. They're probably thinking Monday morning there's this big write-up and coverage that they can take back and hang on a wall. There's nothing on the front page. You literally it's almost like self-sabotage, right?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
they might say, "Oh, well, Bermuda didn't appreciate this. The media didn't
That's it
appreciate this."
right
We're
there.
not
That,
getting this
yeah.
event back. Like that's self-sabotage. That's not helping. And right now, I haven't even gone in on the premier for not being present. We're gonna have that conversation. Don't worry. We're gonna have that. But it's things like that. You think Michael Dunkley, former premier of Bermuda's, missing the America's Cup or triathlon? You think Michael Dunkley would have missed yesterday as premier? Hell no.
Mm-mm.
Why?
Mm-mm.
Because Michael Dunkley is a politician and he gets it. He understands where he needs to be when he needs to be there.
Yeah.
You
And
cannot do this. Go ahead, Sherry.
no, and it's a whole bigger thing that I don't think people understand. The lack of representation translates into dollars as well. It's very different columns and situations that can trickle down from this one thing. And as you said, they could very well look at the paper and be like, they didn't like us that we weren't there, that we were there. They didn't want us there. They didn't think that we should be on the front page of the paper. Like, think about it. Who's
Yep.
gonna want to come back?
You've got world record holders. I mean, we're talking the
People
best
that went
of the
in the
best. Let's
Olympics.
go to the comments. Michelle White says, once again, our local resources have missed an opportunity to garner local support in promoting Bermuda as a destination. I always say when
Spot
it
on.
comes to tourism, it's about us. Like, the solutions are within us. Like, we can't, nobody else is coming to save us. I say that in related to so many things on this show.
Yeah.
Like, this is the easiest way for us to succeed, and we're not doing ourselves any favors. But I can't help but think, if the leadership looked a bit different, the results may have been too. That's just my thought. That's just my
Mhm.
thought. I'm not saying it,
Yeah.
but Karen Simmons says, as an international event, it should have been covered on the front page above the fold. Bermuda was broadcasted internationally on NBC, but not Bermuda. Shameful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's it right
I
there.
agree. Now,
Yeah.
again, the Royal Gazette did cover it. They did cover it on the day. They did have very good coverage, live interviews. They had a lot of coverage, as did other media outlets, which I'm not putting on the screen because they don't pay us for advertising. If we're criticizing them, we will talk about them. But they don't pay us for that. But Sam Cat Play says, I like that it wasn't politicized for the most part, but it still doesn't negate the lack of support, which we know is because the event didn't make them money. Dang shame. Well, I mean, money means something. It does mean something. So look, what can we learn from this? Like, what can we learn? Like, how do we educate? I always say that education is one of the greatest components to anything we want to succeed at. Like,
Mhm.
where are the lessons in this? You know, you've been doing it for years, Larry.
Yeah, I think that this is a classic case of when we say we all need to do it together and we all need to do our part. And this just shows when we don't do our part or a certain section kind of drops the ball, it still affects us. So I think learning from this is just saying, you know what, let's not just talk about us doing our part, but let's just all really work to do it because you never know how this may affect the outcome. Because again, people, some very important people were not happy, and maybe it's a bit of ego involved. I'm not saying that hey, we had a great meet, they should just deal with it. I get it, but hey, when they're bringing, the getting the NBC coverage and bringing in the money, they want certain things done, and at the end of the day, the ball just dropped.
Yeah.
I, Me personally, it's like, come on, like, you know that this is happening. We how much hand holding do we need to do, really? Like, it's on a national stage. We have Olympians that are performing in this. I'm really gotta tell you that it needs to be on the front page as a paper that's been in existence forever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Well,
to me, that's like, it's
in,
dumb.
in fairness,
Sorry.
and I will not disclose what the details of the conversation were, but in fairness, I did have a conversation with the editor, um, Dexter Smith, and there may be something that tries to fix this. I'll say that much. But at the end of the day, some folks will feel like the damage is already done. This is part of the legacy of the entity, whatever. I just feel like this should not happen. It's
We
unacceptable. It shouldn't happen.
I agree, but
we shouldn't be collateral damage.
I
I'm
am
sorry.
nowhere surprised, and that's just
Mm.
I'm seeing it historically. You see some things Jamal brought up how they look like and whatnot, and I always say, look, the media drives the racial divide amongst the athletes in Bermuda,
Mm,
Well,
just by the
sad.
coverage or the lack thereof, and I'll leave that as that.
mm. Well, I mean, what are your thoughts, folks? What can we learn from the Royal Gazette's non-existent coverage of the USATF Bermuda Games on its front page yesterday? What can we learn from it? It's the only daily paper, Bermuda's only daily newspaper. What can we learn from this? Again, there was no
I
mention of the young children, the fastest kid on the rock. There was not one mention of um, Camacho Quinn, Jasmine Camacho Quinn on there. I
mhm.
mean, man, my thighs hurt just looking. I mean, my hamstrings, I felt they got tight watching her run those hurdles, man. Seriously, I mean, how does she do it? Go ahead, Sherry.
No, and again, Jamal, it's the only newspaper on the island. And I feel like, how much hand holding do we need to do? Or do you just need to do what your job is? Where was everybody on Saturday? Majority of people
Yeah,
were.
and that's it, Sherry. They did not capture the majority of the people of Bermuda, and when the media
Mhm.
fails to capture what the Bermudian people are feeling, I think that's where they go wrong.
Yep.
And real quickly, I was watching a track podcast, and they talked about back in the day around this time, it was a big meet in Martinique, and if you performed well there, then you went on to do stuff. Martinique was very huge in the calendar. That meet in Martinique doesn't happen anymore. So there's no guarantee that these types of things will continue to happen. So we all need to do our part and make sure that it's a top class event covered with everything, because there's no guarantee that this meet would be around for 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sam Cat Play says, I will say it loud. It is not a white event.
Okay, I knew somebody would.
Yeah, I'm glad it was not me.
It wasn't me neither.
Me
Michelle
either.
White said, hey, maybe they are planning on a full insert on Wednesday. And David Michael R. Wilson says, in my opinion, any subsequent coverage would be too little too late. Let me say this. I personally feel this was a big clanger. I always say that for Bermuda as a destination to be successful, we need everyone on board. Least of all, the media.
Mm-hmm.
And if the media is not on board with these kinds of events and supporting the initiatives of those responsible for promoting the destination, we've got no chance. So I want people to remember stuff like this, because we so often hear stories about Bermuda as a destination doing poorly and no tourists coming and this and that. And then when we get a chance to showcase who we are to the world, our own media lets us down. Folks, remember this day, yesterday, the front page coverage, for whatever reason you will. And when we have maybe, and I'm not wishing it, because I believe we have the right people in place to ensure we don't have these times. But if we do have a pretty low time or period, remember who was not there to help us capture and build on something like this.
Yeah.
We need all hands on deck. Larry, thank you for the conversation. Hopefully you will be back for the daily play, because it's a goodie.
Stay there. Please.
I may hang around. I'll see what happens.
I'm gonna phone a friend. It's you, Larry.
Peace, Bert. We'll see you in a few.
All right.
All righty, folks. Leanna is out today, so you know what that means. Your boy is got you.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot, Sherry? All right, so I'm gonna do the news break. The Leafster is out today, so let's get it. You know I come with it, folks. You know I come with it. All right, okay. Here we go. All right, this is the Daily Hour News Break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. The City of Hamilton's most popular series is back. The Fresh Air Films Drive-In Edition. This free COVID-19 friendly event has been a favorite to enjoy an outing while also staying safely in your bubble, enjoying the newest movies from the comfort of your vehicle. Gates open at 5:30 p.m. Food and snack vendors available for purchase on site. For entry, show a receipt with a minimum value of $25 from any city business between March 14th and April 16th, 2022. One receipt per car per movie. In other news, according to a press release by former Premier Dr. the Honorable Ewart Brown, after more than 5 years, countless court battles, and the vast expense to both the Bermudian taxpayer and me, untold worry and consternation of patients, the Bermuda Police Service has finally notified me that the investigation into medical fraud has now been discontinued, with no charges having been preferred in relation thereto. Dr. Brown continues, meanwhile, they plowed with further spurious allegations against me dating back at least 21 years. I have been under investigation for more than 11 years at the cost of over $10 million to the Bermudian taxpayer. Go figure. And they are still proceeding in the courts with no end in sight for the Bermudian taxpayer or me. Is this prosecution or persecution? The former Premier Dr. Ewart Brown asked. In today's weather, it's Bermuda, so it's not snowing outside. And if you don't believe me, step outside and see. That's the Daily Hour News Break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Let's get back, because we have a special guest coming up right after this daily play. Or not daily play, what's it called? Days of the Year with Sherry. Sherry?
Okay, it's not snowing outside.
That was accurate. Okay, I bet you that I'm the first weather person that's 100% accurate.
Okay, Jamal. We're going to the days of the year. And
All right.
today is International Be Kind to Lawyers Day. It's all about showing the lawyers in our lives the love and respect they deserve. Yes, lawyers find themselves in the middle of many sticky situations, but that's part of their job. Let's take a minute today to recognize the great work they do to help us out of messes we get ourselves into or assist us in businesses that we like to thrive.
Hold on. You said it's National Lawyers Day or something?
Be kind to Lawyers Day.
Oh, Be Kind to Lawyers Day.
I'm sure you know a few lawyers
Why you
in your day.
Yeah, I've had to pay for they're expensive. I mean, yeah. I'm not going to criticize any lawyers today. I'm not going to do it.
Good stuff, Jamal.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Quick comment to Shay Chloe. She says, "While it's very disappointing to see the lack of coverage on the Royal Gazette following the event, I thank the Daily Hour for your support, coverage, and inspiring words about the USATF Bermuda Games. Bermuda, this was our event, and we showed up big on an international stage, and for that, we all should be proud of what we accomplished as a country." Thank you at the Bermuda Tourism Authority for trusting us to actually speak on this. And where others lack, that's where we all as a community need to stand up and do our part. What kind of weather report was that, Renee Smith? That was is it snowing outside? This is about accuracy, not detail. It's not detail. It's about accuracy. You all are not going to pick on me today. We've got a guest coming in. We've got Alicia Williams from So Cute. Honestly, the name.
I know.
Name. It doesn't get any better than the name. If you have any questions or comments for Alicia, make sure you put them in, folks. Get them in on time, and we will get to as many as possible. Well, we're going to take a quick break and come back with Sherry, Alicia, and me. Stick with us. Oh, and if you haven't already, make sure you go to our website, subscribe while we're on commercial break. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, because you all just think we're just going to be here every day in the way that you think we are until we're not anymore. We'll be back.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Hi, I'm Karen, a nurse at the old folks home. These long hours used to kill my feet until my hairdresser told me about a great place to buy a pair of clogs. Medical House. Finally, relief. They also carry uniforms in bright, bold colors. And not to mention the support stockings.
Karen, Miss Salter's bet her bet again.
Oh gosh, these days, I need all the support I can get.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke.
This month, John Barrett & Son bring us a premium thirst quencher from North Carolina, the Blue Ultra Purified Water. Many other bottled waters use reverse osmosis to reach an acceptable level of purity. Le Bleu uses a 5-step purification process, which includes fractional vapor compression, distillation, and ozonation, assuring purity and a unique, appealing flavor. Consumer testimony repeatedly praises the taste of Le Bleu compared to the other brands, and this, along with superior purity, makes Le Bleu a must-try. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
All righty, welcome back to the big show. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Without further ado, let's bring in our guest for the day. We've got Alicia Williams of So Cute. Good morning and welcome. How are you?
Morning, Jamal. Morning, Shari. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, good.
All right. Sherry got a bit excited with certain guys. She likes fashion, so she's just really like.
I see.
Yeah, she does.
You know what? Speaking of fashion, how did you, before we get into everything about So Cute, how did you get into fashion?
Oh gosh. Now you put me in the spot. I guess I've been into it. I love a little style. I love throwing anything that I have together. Yeah, I wouldn't even. I don't even know how to answer that, Jamal. Really, I don't. I pretty much throw anything together, so I wouldn't even say it's more of a fashion sense. I guess it's more of a style, and my style varies each day. It depends on how I feel. So I would say I dress to express. I dress according to how I feel that day. Sometimes I want to be funky. Sometimes I want to be classy. Sometimes I want to be like funky classy. That's the thing. It's probably not.
Yes, I'm into fashion too. I just pick up the first thing I feel like, oh, I feel like that today. I think I'm
right.
I'm a fashion person then.
Okay, Jamal. But Alicia is very much, however she chooses to dress, I am here for it. I love everything about her style, especially representing, a plus size community as well to me. And I'm always like, what is Alicia wearing today? So with that being said, how did that fashion sense transcend to you of how you started your business?
Okay, so it's the backstory of it is it's funny. I went to Miami in 2016, and I'm piggybacking off of what you said, fast plus size women. And I was looking for a cute little bathing suit. I couldn't find one. So I had said to my boyfriend, I'm like, you know what? This isn't it. I don't want these granny bathing suits. I want something real cute. I want to start a plus size swimwear line. So I had started to invest in that. COVID came. My manufacturers had to shut down. I was so close to launching. And I decided to buy a sewing machine. Once COVID had come, everything got shut down. I didn't know how I was going to get the sewing machine. I don't have any sewing experience. So that was how I got into So Cute, was basically trying to have my business launch, have my vision out there.
And I remember that story. And I remember Alicia telling me that story. And I was just like, can I model for you? Can I be a part of this? Like, what can we do? Because we needed some representation of us and, in regards to the wear. But what have you learned by starting this business?
It's funny because my background, like I said, I don't have any sewing knowledge. I'm straight corporate. What I've learned is people will support you. People will support you through all your learning curves, your growing pains. Long as you believe in yourself and you stay consistent, people will be there to support you to get you to the next level. I definitely appreciate all my clients. When I started So Cute, it didn't have a name. It didn't have a brand. It didn't have anything. I didn't even have an intention to when doing this as a living. I do it full time now. When I started it, I had made myself a bathing suit. I look at it now, I kept it. Obviously, I kept it. And I look at the stitching and I'm like, wait, this is horrible. It's cringy. Well, I was on a boat and two of my friends was like, you should make these for people. And I'm like, no, I cannot. So next day I woke up, I was like, let's get a logo, something quick. Didn't think it was going to be anything that's going to take off. Went on Etsy. Like, okay, here we go. Let's get a little something to throw up for people. Start an Instagram. Didn't have a name. So hands So Cute because I'm sewing and it's going to be cute. I thought in my mind. I don't know. I don't even know the rationalization behind it. And then people literally just started placing orders. And I'm here trying to learn how to draft patterns. My mama's up at my house every day helping me. I'm up late nights because I still work a daytime job. So yeah, that's one of the things that I've learned is that people will support you as long as you stay consistent and you believe in yourself. You stay upfront and honest with them. I can't do this. I don't know how to do this. Those sorts of things, and people will definitely join you when you're right.
But I think you set a precedence from the very beginning just about your fashion sense. So I think we trusted you from the very beginning in regards to what it is that we will see. So what was the most challenging part of being a self-taught seamstress? Do you even consider yourself a seamstress?
I don't even have a name for myself. People's like,
so
okay,
cute.
Seamstress. I'm like, no, I don't. I make stuff, I guess. I don't know what it is. One of you can repeat your question, Sherry. You said challenges?
I was saying challenging part about being a self-taught seamstress.
So it's definitely making patterns.
Okay.
I don't use ready-bought patterns because everything that I pretty much do is custom made. So it's made towards measurements and the fit of my client. So having a ready-made pattern, I don't have this. So I have to rationalize it in my head. How would this vision that they've given me or that I've created for them come to life on their body. I've tried patterns, and I don't understand the terminology, and I've been taking time to actually learn it. But because honestly, I've been just rapidly going through clients and custom outfits, clothes, bathing suits, whatever, you name it. I don't really have that time to sit down and study patterns. It's been working for me right now, and my self-drafted patterns. But one of the things I do want to get in is actually pattern drafting, for sizes. So ready-made. So if you call me and like, you have some pants or in a large, extra large, 2X, I could have it. But because I've not,
Got it.
I'm not used to a drafted pattern already, I don't really know how to go about that. So I would definitely say one of my challenges is patterns and pattern drafting.
Wow. What would you tell others who are very creative and want to create the end garments?
Go for it. I don't even consider myself a creative. So if you have that vision, you have that passion, I would definitely say go for it. I'm a firm believer in doing what you feel is right for you. Don't compare yourself to other people, what other people's doing. Too many people's already doing it. Those sorts of things do not fly by me. I may be book solid and somebody needs something made. I can't do it all.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to you put yourself out there. I could refer. And let's work together. Like if anybody has any questions, they can always come to me. When I say I started from absolutely nothing, today I'm going to quit my daytime job to do this full time and still sustain myself.
Yeah.
It can be done.
How dare you say that you're not a creative? Like, really, your creative juices have always, I think, represented themselves in what you wear, how you put it together, your makeup, your hair, and all of those things. So I'm not surprised that the creative juices come out in your fashion sense. But how do you feel about how you're successful thus far, how successful your business has been thus far?
It's nerve-wracking in so many ways because it's done really good, and I've grown over the last 2 years, and I continue to wonder, will this be it? Like, is this it for me? So mentally it's a challenge. Obviously I'm growing and my name's getting out there more, so obviously business is picking up, and I do have a business plan to go forward. But just, this is what I'm doing. This is not what I have prepared to do. So I still haven't settled into just being comfortable enough. I have to keep going. My mentality this was never my mentality. So I'm still working that into it as well.
Awesome. And as you know, Jamal always says, if anybody have any questions for Alicia, please put them in the comments so we can ask her.
We've got a question from Michelle White. They don't teach in schools anymore. She's asking, disappointed in another trade not being encouraged. I know they have, and my mom used to do it. She used to teach sewing in the, what is it called? The community classes or whatnot. Would that be something that you would be interested in doing? And because I at the end of the day, my mom used to make my sisters and I's clothes when we were young. When you can make clothes, you're solving a big problem. You know what they say, food, shelter, and something to wear. Like that's a big problem. Are you, would that be something you would take on as a part of your business, teaching people? And if so, at what level?
I do think about it. I think about it often, but like I said, because I'm so new and I'm teaching myself, I don't know how I can translate that to other people, because what I do is not scripted by a book. It's really a thought process in my head. So it's kind of hard to kind of teach people. So I'm trying to get into a space where I can do some of the basic things to show people of how to do, like maybe even something simple. If I were to take it up, it will be like probably targeted towards smaller children. Somebody had asked a question about it being taught in schools. It probably is taught in schools. I went to a private school where it wasn't taught. So I don't know what they do in other schools, but my school wasn't taught. I would definitely target it to younger children because it's like a trade, right? It's something else to do other than straight corporate, thinking about being an accountant, being about a fireman or a policeman. It's something else that a lot of children don't even really know that they can do as a profession. until they got older. So I would definitely start with something basic, basic machine terminology, what you do on a machine, straight stitching, sorts of basic things like maybe sewing a gym bag or an apron, something simple. But I definitely would not be comfortable enough in myself to target towards adults who wanna start on their career, because I don't have those answers that they might hear from me, because they already know garment construction or what it should look like. So I wouldn't be able to comfortably explain certain things to them.
I actually appreciate and very much what you're saying, because it's almost like, look, I'm gonna stay in my lane. I know what I'm good at right now, and this is what I'm gonna focus on. If I get to a point where I am able to teach others what I know, that I'm confident doing that, then I'll get there. But what I heard from you is I'm not gonna just do stuff for additional money that my heart's not in it, and I appreciate that. And I think, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say back in my day we had sewing class. I just wanted to put it out there.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. But no, yeah, I'm not gonna do it for just additional money. At this point, I'm building a brand. I'm building my name up. So I don't want to do anything where they're like, wow, she taught me this class and it was horrible, or this was that, and she didn't even know how to answer certain things. So yeah, definitely, as Crystal said, stay in my own lane. I am building one day at a time. When I become more comfortable with things, then I'll implement this. When I first started 2020, I had a client who wanted a zipper in her bathing suit, and I had never touched zippers. And I just explained to her nicely, I don't know how to use a zipper. I do not know how to put in a zipper. So we can work with other options. Like I would give other options. So I've learned to be honest. Definitely honesty is key, and give suggestions, because clients would have, I want something fitted with a woven fabric. So woven is something that doesn't stretch, but they want it fitted. It cannot be fitted. It would tear if you sit down, and then that's my brand if I'm trying to make them happy. So I have to explain to them the different things, the different fabrics, the different materials that I work with, or that's one's able to work with for a particular look that they're looking for.
Well, the fact that you know that, sorry, Jamal.
There's so many Bermudians with fashion brands coming out. You've got the gold label. The label. I know Gaynette Jones has the cup. There's just different people with different things. Have you collaborated with anyone in Bermuda, or do you have any aspirations to collaborate? And also outside of Bermuda, like, larger brands outside Bermuda. How far do you think do you want to grow?
Yeah, I'm definitely, my plan is outside of Bermuda. Only because Bermuda is limited in numbers. And like I said, I have to be comfortable in feeling like this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. This is a lifelong plan of mine. Bermuda's limited. I can only sustain myself in so many things with the population that we have here. So it's nothing against Bermudians and Bermudians not supportive, because that is definitely not it. They have been supportive 100%. Definitely my friends and family. They always say friends and family are the hardest, or they don't support you. Not in my case at all. So I definitely have to thank everybody who supports me. Word of mouth has been like my main thing. If people go on my Instagram, they would hardly see anything. I hardly post. I'm a one-man show, so I can't do it all. And like I said, I'm very, very busy, and it's amazing. Like one day you'll be asking for, or to myself, like I just want maybe 2 clients this week. I was at that point. I still had a job, so I didn't really care how much clients I had. Just to learn different things, and now every day I'm booked until June.
Wow.
Like I'm booked until June. And when you ask about collaborations, I do have some collaborations coming up. People will see that soon. Hint, May 24th. But I went throw out too much. I went throw out too much about that. But definitely collaborated with other locals who have brands, not just within Bermuda.
Okay. And I know you are a mother as well. How does your children see this other side of you, or a side that they've always seen of you, and what do they think?
You know what? I've never really asked them what they think. I think it just kind of rolled over. Life just rolled over with them. It was pandemic time, so things were changing anyway. So they probably don't even really understand what it is that I'm actually doing or going through. They understand that I have clients coming over. They understand certain things. I have to pop out her real quick to do a fitting, or I have to do this to take measurements. But I don't think they really understand, like, you quit your job and now you're doing this, but you didn't know how to sew before, because I didn't know.
Right.
So for them, it's different, I guess, because now I'm always available. And it's funny because I always used to drop them off to school. That was like my one thing. Now it's like, can you pick me up from school? Excuse me, I am working. They're so used to me having the flexibility, which is a good thing, because that's always something that I wanted to have, was have flexibility when it came to my children. So no matter what they had to do, I wanted to be the parents I chaperoned, did this, did that. So I have that flexibility within how I manage my time. Whether it's I'm off throughout the day, but I'm up from midnight to 5 a.m. But I got up to make sure my children's okay. So it's those sorts of things that I understand, but they don't understand. They don't understand why I'm up late, because during the day I was doing this with you at school. But I'm sure when they got older, they will probably understand. Even my eldest son, he doesn't. He's so used to. His just always been with me. He's seen me go through university. He's seen me start, working. So it's to him, this is what my mama does. It's just.
I get a sense of extreme happiness from you in doing this. Like throughout the conversation, it's just like it's a happiness that I mean, mind you, I haven't seen you in years, but I'm not saying you were not happy people. I'm just, don't take that the wrong way, but it's just you're exceeding the happiness, and it's like you're doing something you love. And a lot of people go to work every day and they're not happy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like there's more to it than just having a brand and sewing and being creative. It's about doing what makes you happy day in and day out. If there's someone watching, tuned in, obviously we have your email running on bottom and Instagram. You said you're busy up until what, June?
June, I'm booked until June. Yep. And my June bookings are definitely filling up.
All right.
And my
Jamal,
summer orders are coming in, because swimsuits and boots and so people have been making their deposits.
And Jamal, and let me just add, she does have another business, and that's probably a whole different shit. Like, the woman is something. So we have to have you come back for that.
You're hustling. All right.
Hustling.
Do you have a store, or you sew at home? Not everyone can be a seamstress. It takes a lot of patience. To some, it's just innate and comes natural.
Yep. No, I do not have a store. I'm out of my home. I actually renovated, so I have a section where it's just for when my clients come in and different things like that. So it's kind of away from my family. No, and it's funny, like, to some people I have to be in the mood for it. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm always in the mood for it. I don't know. If I'm not doing anything, I'll find something else to do, to see a vision. And I do, Jamal. I'm definitely happy. It's a passion. It's a passion now, because I've always been into style. It's been into fashion. So when I see it come to life and I see it on my clients, I get so excited, because going through the process, it doesn't look the end result. What it says, trust the process. So you have to trust the process. So when I actually see it when I see it done, I do my little happy dances at my sewing machine. I'm like, oh yes, because in my mind, I know what it should look like or what I should be doing. But sometimes I don't know how to get there. I have people on Ireland who I can call if I have questions. Great support systems. YouTube is, everybody go to YouTube, but YouTubers definitely limit you on what they know, just so that you're not exceeding them. But I'm a part of a good bit of Facebook groups of some really big fashion gurus who their work is everywhere, and it's amazing. Like, you just ask a question, they would answer it, they'd help you. They would say, let's go to Nicole, different things like that. So I'm definitely using my resources. I've got out of my, I don't want anybody to know that I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know at this point. I don't know how to do this, but I know it should look like this. So I take suggestions or feedback and guidance from people who's been doing this a lot longer than me. So yeah.
All right. Well, almost out of time, but got another question. Christine Can Hamilton, does she have a website? Do you have a website?
I don't. I'm working on that. So if you follow me on Instagram, you will definitely see the updates coming. 2022, I have a lot of things growing for So Cute, and the website is definitely one of the things that's high up on my priority list. So if you follow me on So Cute, all my updates will be there, and you'll be able to follow what's going on with me and my brand.
Alrighty, cool. So I have one question before you left. So anyone who follows us on Instagram, you know, on our stories yesterday, we asked basically, what kind of person are you? We asked you, are you with raisins or without raisins in your hot cross buns? Alicia, you are the first person we're going to ask. With or without raisins in your hot cross buns?
With, but without. So I like the flavor of raisins, but I don't like the texture. So
were you that person?
So
I like to pick them out before I eat them.
We had people on our Instagram responding saying the same thing. Was that you?
Really? That? Yeah. What is that?
You know what? We're gonna forgive you, strange people in your raisins, but not the actual raisin. But no, Alicia, thank you so much for trusting our platform.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem. And we definitely would. You know, I don't know what the new business is. You all keeping secrets from me, the other business, but we'd definitely love to have you back to speak about that as well sometime.
Great.
Thank you, Alicia.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You as well. Alicia Williams, So Cute. Go check her out. She's down bottom. SoCute.bda@gmail.com. Instagram, SoCute.bda. If you appreciated that conversation, you know what to do. Give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Folks, let us know as well. We're not just going to put Alicia on the spot. Let us know. We're going to take a quick break, but let us know. Do you like your hot cross buns with or without raisins? With or without raisins? I want to know what Sherry thinks about this too. Something tells me she's just going to have a strange answer compared to mine. No. Okay, we'll talk about it after the break. We got that daily play coming up. Larry will be back joining us for that as well. I'm just hopeful one of these two get this morning. We'll be right back. Stick with what? I'm hopeful. I'm not saying
Larry's answer is mine too.
We'll be right
back. If it's right.
We'll be back.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security. There's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
All righty, welcome back, folks. Thanks again to Alicia Williams. If you appreciated that conversation, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share these kind of inspirational entrepreneurs across your conversations at the water cooler and so on. Thanks again to One Communications, Medical House, Linda's, and People's Pharmacy for being able to do this with you as well, folks. So Sherry and Larry, with or without raisins?
With.
Yeah.
With. I can't even see how you can't.
Larry.
Let's go to the audience. We have, oh my goodness. I used to pick them out too. You didn't.
Come on, boss lady, sort it out.
Yeah,
that's the boss. That's the boss, folks. Let me be careful. Make sure we get paid.
They messed it up for us, Jamal.
With raisins, Karen Simmons with raisins. With raisins, without raisins, with raisins. Dexter Smith with raisins. We've got Michelle White with lots of raisins. So she's getting overkill. Nicole Walker asked a legit question. Is it even a hot cross bun with?
That's what I asked that same question.
It's a cinnamon bun.
Definitely with. I think the whiffs are definitely outweighing the withouts. We have a without raisin. Without raisins is just a roll.
Yep.
With raisins. Used to be without, but I've switched camps. I'm now welcome to the camp. Welcome to the camp. And we've got some kind words from people to Alicia. Janet Maynard says, all the best to you in your business. Yes, sewing is a passion. In my day, your mother sent you to sewing class, whether you wanted to go or not. Sad they took it out of the school system. I kind of did it a class when I was in Northlands, but I got like picked with a lot of needles in my fingers. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to go, but
that's probably for all the other foolishness you was doing.
Just you, Jamal.
Just me. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I take it. I've learned. We've got. I like raisins, but I can't eat them without. But I can eat them. Sorry, yeah. I can eat them without. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you like a bun? Gotta have raisins. Raisins, please. With LOL. Like I said, I used to. I take it as it is now. Okay, so she's changed. So with we don't have too many people without. We don't have too many people without. So we have about, let's say, 2 people without. Yeah, about 2-3 people without.
Yeah, it was maybe 4 max. Okay.
Yeah, 4 max. Well, folks, I honestly don't care. I don't care.
You would.
I would love. If you tell me it's a hot cross. No, I'm gonna tell you where I draw the line.
It's like football and soccer, right?
Why are you telling people
Wendy's and fish sandwiches?
Why are you telling people can I finish my? I mean, anyway, where I draw the line, I'm all good with raisins. I love raisins in my hot cross buns. Where I draw the line is Whole Foods. When you want to put cranberries in the hot cross buns, they are not hot cross buns with cranberries in them.
That's so American. That's American something. I don't know.
That is illegal. That is blasphemy. That is crazy. By the way, real quickly before we do the daily play, you know I got eaten up on Twitter yesterday. I asked a simple question, and everybody came for me. Even Marketplace had the audacity. But they were nice about it. But all I asked, I said, I'm gonna be that guy. I said, does anyone I just asked about vegan fish cakes. And they all came for me, and they called me names, and they beat me up. I was just asking.
Yeah, Jamal, what's a vegan fish cake?
I don't know. I'm trying to find out so I can.
Isn't it just a vegan cake? Really? Like, because do we put fish in there when it's supposed to be vegan? Like, I'm
gonna have potatoes and stuff. Anyway,
it's called a potato cake.
Yeah.
Why are you guys doing this? Why?
I'm interested, for a vegan fish cake. However, not for Good Friday, bro.
Oh, okay. So anyway, folks, we're gonna speak with someone about a vegan fish cake, and if you know somebody who does a vegan fish cake, hit your boy up, and we're gonna get on that thing. But anyway, it's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Heineken 0.0. Great taste, no alcohol. Sherry and Larry, are you ready?
Yes. Come on, Larry.
So remember when? On Friday, we asked Larry Marshall Jr., better known as Bert, we asked him, what year did the first Carifta Games take place? The answer was 1972, correct?
Okay.
I said 1971.
Today, the question is, what year did Bermuda first host the Carifta Games?
Oh, Larry's got this.
I know we've done 2, 2012 and 04.
Reason it out, Larry. Reason it out.
Was it one before? It was one before my time.
Was it in the 90s?
We won it. We won 1976.
Is that our final answer, Larry? Are you sure?
I'm getting 1976.
He was so close like last week. He said 1971 and it was 1972. It was, wait for it, March 29th through 31st, 1975.
And Bermuda won.
Oh, Larry. But he got all of these half right answers, like Bermuda won, this, that, and the other. It equals to a half. It's okay, Larry. It's all right.
You know what?
You did a good job.
You must
coming in hot.
That got a lawyer.
It don't count, Sherry.
She got a lawyer
who
challenged her SAT scores. I'm telling you, she did. Look how she's.
There's always a loophole.
Oh, that's all she is.
There's always a loophole. Been in America probably too long, but it's always a loophole, Jamal. And Larry, he didn't ask the question right anyway, but I'll figure out where the loophole is in that. That's okay. Like, you did good, Larry.
In math, you got points for your working out and stuff.
For working up. Yes.
Hey, in life that don't happen. And it used to get points for working out, and then you grew up as an adult, and it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
It's
we
okay.
work that way at the gas pump, but that ain't happening.
Yeah.
Give me extra gas for something. Look, any final thoughts from the both of you on today's discussion, Royal Gazette, with the conversation with Alicia?
My short answer to the word, because that representation matters at the end of the day. Represent us well. That's what you're here for. As far as Alicia, the same thing. She represents well, and it's nice to see someone self-taught to make a business and a brand that has been successful. I can't wait to wear one of her outfits.
I just read today's article that had the coverage with some very nice pictures. It just seemed like it was a day too late. All the USATF execs are gone, the athletes are gone. So, I just wish it would have been yesterday. Yesterday's coverage would have been. I just wish that this would have happened yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this much about the Royal Gazette: we do this daily. I retract. I say things that I probably, got that wrong. Come back and say it. I'm not making excuses for it. What I'm simply saying is we can't afford to make certain mistakes. All mistakes aren't equal. And my hope is that this is a lesson that all of us, including the Gazette most of all, can learn from.
Yeah.
I think they did drop the ball, admittedly. I think they realized they got it wrong. But let's collectively make this right. Let's find a way to right these wrongs while they still have a chance to help Bermuda and Bermudians come out on top. Let it be the last time something like this happens. Yeah. Alicia, I mean, what can I say? Another entrepreneur who's come on this show, doing well for herself, and I, wish her nothing but the best. And Bermuda, get out, support her, and see. I didn't ask about if she's gonna move and making some things for the fellas, but I'll give her time. I'll let her take her the shares of the world. Always bias. But on that note, it's been a great show. Sherry, you've got some inspiration for us?
I do. Build your own dreams, or someone else will hire you to build theirs.
Yeah.
For Rod Gray.
All right, folks. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. Sherry Vanderpool, Larry Marshall Jr., I'm Jamal Hartman. My friends, make it a safe and great day. And don't forget, tomorrow is our final show of the week. We're going to give you a long weekend away from Sherry. Yeah, I know. You're like,
and Jamal.
Too much of a hurt. Yeah, I had it right.
We've got
Police Commissioner coming on tomorrow. So we're going to be talking about a lot of what's been happening in Bermuda. Get your questions ready. We'll probably go extra long with Police Commissioner because these are some concerning times. And this is not to throw in any kind of craziness in your minds, but it was Good Friday about a decade ago, over a decade ago, when a man was murdered in front of his own children. So, look, we've got to have tough conversations, and I'm looking forward to the Commissioner of Police tomorrow. Until then, have some water in your cup. Peace.